man.
All right, we got him.
We like to apologize.
For what?
To absolutely no one.
The two-time champ does absolutely fucking nothing.
Alright. What episode is this? Main Chafford podcast episode
230.
Is it 230?
I want to say
well,
229.
if it's 230, what a time to be alive. I mean, it's always a time to be alive, but, a little bit of sauce.
229.
229.
Well,
Anyway. Main Chafford podcast episode 229. The real is back, the real is back. I am him, I'm Himmy Neutron, I am two Dems. If you don't know, Google is free. Dancing DK, watch your back. I'm going to pass it to my partner.
Cole Sanusi, Don Corleone in the building, aka El Coolins, aka C-Note, aka Hollywood Cole. Coming for your left there, your right there, surround sound, smart speakers, portable speakers, you name it, we dare. Episode 229. Let's get it.
It's Eman G45, the G solid on my name, the 45 is silent. It's King is Chibokwe. Prince of the East, Tinfoil Eames, Eman Prime, Black Mama Dove, GAM.
Yeah.
Yeah, God is great.
He is indeed. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I can say. Yeah, get straight to it.
Where do you want to start?
You have the list.
Okay, sometimes I'll be saying something and then you have a better idea.
Bro,
So
I don't get it. I really don't get it because, bro, you have the list and then you make the list.
I just wanted to make sure.
On the list.
I've never
understood that. No, I've never understood that.
Me.
It's like, bro, like, what's going on?
No, watch. I'll point it out. Sometimes I'll say this is the topic, and then you'll say fuck all that. I'm starting with this thing, which I'm okay with. I just wanted to make sure, but
okay.
I'll get it cracking. Usher performed at the Super Bowl. Shit was ass.
Nah, forget that. Let's start with Ye's album.
That was so obvious. That's joke.
No. Let's continue with Mr. Usher.
Raymond.
Yeah.
That was bad, man. That was bad. There's no two words for it. I gave my 2 pence in the Main Chafford group chat earlier today.
But what's so bad about it? I'm a bit confused. Not that it was incredible. I just thought it was. I just thought it was cool.
Do you know what? I think my expectations were really high because he has one of the best catalogs out of all the people that they've selected for a while, and I just thought it would come through a bit more. I don't know. I think that the sound was off, so that didn't help. Shouldn't have called on Alicia. Gone.
I have yet to see the performance, so I'm only going off of what you guys are saying.
I think I just expected more. I think he maybe overstretched himself by trying to have so much going on. And when the performance was at its best was when it was more calm. When you watched him, when he performed Let It Burn, I thought that was the best performance because he was more subdued. It was almost more like his Las Vegas residency, which obviously that's him on a stage just vibing with people. Whereas I think he just tried to do too much here. That's me personally. And we've seen performances where they've done loads of stuff going on, but that's kind of been the vibe of the artist as well. Like The Weeknd at this current stage in his career, or when he performed, having loads of stuff going on where he was going through the thing and he was going through the mirrors and all that, it made sense for that performance. Usher, I know he's got into rollerblading, but coming up there on rollerblades, it didn't marry. I think he was trying to do too much at once.
That's fair.
That's how I felt anyway.
I am probably one of the few people who I'm just kind of like not
What's the
that
consensus
bothered.
online?
Sorry. I think it's slightly more positive than negative. I do think people have the same opinion as you, but I just think people are more like, yeah, it was cool.
Mm,
For me, I'm just
Yeah,
like, I don't really care too much for the Super Bowl performances because I really don't think 15 minutes is enough time to allow artists to really get into their bag unless
mm,
you don't have, unless you're somebody who has like 4 or 5 like major hits. Like if you're somebody like Beyonce or Usher, it's quite hard, in my opinion, to do a really good performance because you're really spending like maybe like a hook or a bridge on a certain song. Like he literally glossed over Superstar, glossed over glossed over Confessions, which is probably his second or
his
third
biggest.
biggest song. So I understand your criticisms. I half agree. I'm just kind of like, in my opinion, I didn't really have much expectation because I just feel like
Mm,
it's very difficult. It's very difficult to kind of appease everybody um when it comes to the Super Bowl because you kind of only have a certain time to get stuff off, you know.
I
So
agree, and I
I,
hear. I think it's tough, and that is so well said. I think um, you do have a short window of time, but you look at it when people do it well, what it does for their career and the push it gives people. I think it is just if you've got that 15 minutes, use it. Last year was an incredible show. I guess that was more of a group performance, but you felt like they used that 15 minutes wisely.
who was
This
last
is
year
someone,
again? I can't remember.
it was the whole West Coast thing.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
Dr.
yeah,
J,
yeah.
Snoop.
No, last year was Rihanna, wasn't it?
It
Oh,
was Rihanna.
you're
Yeah, it
right,
was.
you're right.
Yeah.
And even
But
that
I mean,
one,
that
like me and Sophie watched it back, and I was just
she
like,
was
I mean,
pregnant,
that
so
that had this issue. Yeah, yeah, that's different. Yeah, fair enough. But like, if I'm gonna
She
be
had
harsh,
a
it was
baby in the
kind
oven.
of yeah. She probably shouldn't have done it then, just because for the sake of performance wise. Like, obviously, it's impressive
yeah,
a pregnant woman doing that. Like, we see pregnant women perform all the time, but the problem with Rihanna is her vocals aren't the best. Plus, she doesn't really have that much of a presence on stage, so she has to kind of move around, dance, and kind of be appealing in other ways. So once you sacrifice that, it just kind of, in my
yeah.
opinion, comes
There
across a
was
bit flat.
yeah. There was only so much she could do, if that makes sense.
It was Rihanna karaoke. I can't lie. That's what it felt like to me.
Her.
I'll be so real with you.
But
But
do you know what? It's interesting you say that because I don't know how many of them when they do perform, what's it you call it? When they're not they're not singing into the mic.
oh,
Lip
they're
Oh, they're
syncing.
using
lip singing.
backing lip
That's
singing. Yeah,
yeah. I think sometimes you have to use it, man. It's not an indictment on you. Usher could have used it yesterday
I think he used it in parts.
in
Not sorry,
parts.
he,
He
he didn't
shouldn't.
use it. It was more like it was the back vocals that were playing when he was dancing, but he was singing. You're right. He didn't actually use it
Yeah,
yesterday.
and I think
Um,
that wore him out as well. I think sometimes you just have to let the beat rock. And
I mean, I feel like for what it's worth, like it was cool with the like, Lil Jon popping up, Jermaine Dupri popping up, Ludacris. I thought those were nice little touches. Wasn't too
yeah, that
sure
shit was
about
crazy.
her touch popping up with the guitar. I
What was
thought
the
that was a bit
reason for
random.
that?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and Alicia Keys is Alicia Keys. So
That Alicia Keys' voice crack was crazy.
listen, but she can still
I have
sing
a
though. Like
question
she's still
actually.
go on.
This is not about Alicia Keys, but kind of. But anyways, Britney Spears. I know this is super left, but can she sing?
Britney Spears.
Yeah.
I think she can
If
sing in
I'm,
a 90s pop star version of singing, i.e., she hasn't got a great
There's a lot of
voice,
help.
but you can sing. Does that make sense? I
Yeah,
don't know
it's
if I don't know if in 2024 she can sing, probably not, but
but who can?
yeah, I mean,
I mean, listen, I'm not going to say that. There's a lot of great artists. I wouldn't. I think she can sing, but
Mm.
the problem Britney faced was they wanted her to sing in a different register, which isn't hers. So Britney's voice apparently is actually when she sings is a lot more lower, and they were obviously going for the teen bop sort of voice, so she had to sing in a different register that she wasn't always comfortable with. So if you've seen clips of her maybe not sounding great, that's because she's trying to do something she's not comfortable. They're trying to have her sound in the Mariah Ariana Grande sort of area. For her, that's long.
Yeah, I hear that
It's
still.
peak.
So back to Alicia Keys. I'm not saying that she can't sing, but there are some songs I just think to myself,
You think it's just the keyboards?
That's crazy.
Alicia
no, no,
keyboards.
I'm not saying that she can't sing, but because the thing is, like, there is the vocals, there's getting out, there's the presence, the performance itself. It's wonderful, but then
Hey, listen, she was all she did on that song, in my opinion, was stay on the phone to Most Def.
That's
I'm gonna
funny.
leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Now she's an incredible artist. I think she's really a full package when you look at her. But I'd always class her. I would have classed her as someone I'd say, yeah, she's got vocals.
Yeah, she
I
can
mean,
sing, man. I
that's
think
why.
some artists they lose their ability when they get older, and I think she's slowly beginning to lose the pureness in her voice. Like she can obviously sing. Like there was a video of her singing in King's Cross like a couple of weeks ago on the pianos
Oh
there,
man,
and she sounded incredible. But I don't, I think I don't know what artist was it. There was an artist who re-recorded his vocals 30 years late on the anniversary of his album, and the notes my mum was trying to hit, it just didn't. It just didn't work. I can't remember who it
it
was.
needs to come. You know, back in school before assembly, before singing assembly, they used to make you do breathing exercises. When
Yeah,
you're in your 70s and you're in what's
it's
it?
gone.
What's them? It's done.
Yeah, it's
Having to
over.
go. My
It's
man, you
over
got
with.
asthma.
Bro, it's over with. Like at some point, Mariah won't be able to do that crazy note that she can do. And that's
Yeah,
just life, isn't it?
she needs to let that go anyway. That should be annoying.
Yeah, let Ariana do all
and
those.
that's why Michael Jackson was always speaking in his high voice to
What to keep
preserve.
up?
Yeah, like because he's always had a deep voice. His whole family has deep voices, just that he's always spoken in the high voice just to preserve his voice all the time.
That sounds like it'd be more effort though. From morning till dawn. Oh my god.
No, I don't.
I'm
I don't
just
think morning till dawn. I think that just when he's in public or when he's in spaces where he's required to to speak,
he was the most famous man in the world. Maybe
because you could go back to what's his name, Rock Your World, like that's almost like when he speaks to Chris Tucker, it's a completely different man. But I mean, there's ways to preserve your voice, but I'm just not that vocal coach.
no,
I'm just
no way.
so
It's
yeah.
hard, man. I mean, full respect to Usher. I think still I'm gonna give him praise because what a career. When you look back on everything he's achieved, the people he's worked with. Hey, if JB had shown out, that could have changed the whole dynamic of the show. We could have been talking about something different. So listen, hats off to him where he's at in his career. He's got an album coming out as well. So I don't want to take anything away. I'm sure this is a very proud moment for him. And not many artists can say they've done the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. We'll see it.
Credit where credit is due. What was the next topic? We're going to talk about Deadpool versus Deadpool and Wolverine as it's titled. How you mind feeling about it? You seen the trailer?
I have yet to see the teaser personally. I've just been super occupied with a lot of things. I mean, the only thing that I did manage to see was on Sunday the football, which was Ivory Coast versus Nigeria. Other than that, mate, what's popping in the teaser? Talk to me about it,
Do
man.
you know
Tell
what? To be
me.
fair, you've not missed much. I
Tell the
can give you the
audience.
breakdown. Let's tell the audience. I can give you the breakdown. So the TVA from Loki seasons 1 and 2, they popped up and they've gone to Deadpool basically because you know when he at the end of Deadpool 2 he goes around and he fixes everything. He's now probably a variant who they called up to say, "Hey, we need you to come work for us." He gets to see the whole MCU, so he sees everything play out, and then at the end, it's a bit of fighting, all of that good stuff to get you enticed, and then Wolverine pops up after it seems like he's maybe knocked Deadpool down, and then he goes to pick him up. So that's more or less it. I think it's pretty exciting, but I will say this: if this film flops, that's it. They're done. They can't come back from that.
I don't think Deadpool itself would flop. Um, just actually, you know what? I mean, there is that theory that the third film always flops. Uh,
Mm,
but I don't personally feel that Deadpool would flop because Deadpool has always struck a chord with the comic book fans, and now this sort of anti-hero film arc
mm.
of like you know how like there's the superhero films and then there's that guy,
Yeah. I hear it.
that individual that is not of that ilk of being a superhero, but he's a bit of a prick, but at the same time, he has powers. So
Mm.
and then it resonates with a lot of people just because it's like, yeah, he's a normal everyday person. He's just a mug. So
This
then I
needs to
don't
make a bill.
It
Wow.
will. It
I
will. It will. It
It has
definitely
to. It
will.
has to.
I
Listen,
think
do you know how like they really struggled to come back after Batman versus Superman? If this doesn't do well, that's the sort of damage I'm talking to the MCU.
I think what Eman's saying is spot on. I think it'll be very, very difficult for them to screw this up because I feel like Deadpool is a fan favorite. Everybody loves Deadpool.
Mm.
Wolverine's appearance in both their first appearances in the MCU. Everybody loves Hugh Jackman. He makes a bunch of money. All the old
Every
ladies who
time it
love
shows out.
Hugh Jackman will turn up. All the people who love I Am Wrexham or the Wrexham show now will appear for Deadpool. I think it's a very easy layup. I'll be honest with you. The only way they can screw this up is if they completely MCUify Deadpool, and I just don't think they'll do that.
Yeah, they know.
I think that would be that all deserved for them to screw up if that makes any sense. But
Mm.
I just don't see it happening. I think this will be if they play their cards right, if they lay up Secret Wars well enough after this, I got a feeling this will be I'm looking forward to it personally. I like the trailer. I mean, I've always liked Deadpool anyway.
Mm.
I'm quite optimistic about this one.
Same. It's a huge. It's not a gamble per se because, like you said, everything is in their favor. As Gary Neville says, this is the one that can't fail. This is the banker. So if this doesn't work out, they're in real hot water. But I don't expect it to, nor do I want it to.
It's the only movie they're putting out this year, no?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that
So
says a
this
lot.
has to hit.
I think that says a lot. I think this is a quietly confident one. I reckon
Mm.
this one will be good. I didn't really love Deadpool 2 watching it back. Like it was almost too silly. Like Deadpool
Yeah,
1, I love Deadpool 1. It's one of my favorite comic book movies. But 2, I just felt like they didn't really know what to do with him. They were just kind of it
yeah,
was more
yeah.
just banter for the sake of banter. So I
I
think
don't
this
really
one
think.
has a sense of direction about it because
Mm.
there's a narrative they actually have to fulfill. So I've got a feeling it'll be
Yeah,
good.
I didn't really feel they needed Deadpool 2. They did it because one was so successful. They made it for like £15 and then it did the business it did. So it's a
I
no-brainer. You're
even
gonna
I
make a
even
number
think
two.
I even think the jokes on Deadpool 2 were a bit, it was a bit too much. Like
It
there's
100%.
just
They
enough in it.
overdid it. They overdid it still.
Yeah. So then when we're now looking at Deadpool 3, I want it to be a serious film in the aspect of, yes, we have the jokes, yes, we have the blood and the gore in
Mm.
terms of the action as well as action packed. But I don't want this to be, oh, it was a script that we made, but because of the higher ups, I don't want none of that excuses. I want
No, I
like
don't want to hear that.
pure art form from your heart, and what the fans want, not what they need, what they want. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I think
yeah,
Ryan Reynolds doesn't strike me this sort of guy that like, if they'd been like, we're going to be massively involved and you have to do what we say, then he probably would have been along the lines of, well, you can cast. but it's not going to go well. And people are done with the whole because they would have made if the way the MCU is right now, and if they had their way, Deadpool would be a woman. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but listen, let the brothers have a
That
film.
might be a scene. That really might be a scene, and I'm not lying to you.
You know, have like a
I'll switch off
Deadpool
the.
variant,
I,
right? Like a woman variant, probably.
I'll switch off the TV. I know I'm in the cinema, but I'll find a way.
That's
Everything
funny.
lock off.
It's gonna ruin it for everybody. That's jokes. No,
Oh
I'm excited.
yeah,
I think
no,
it'll be good.
I'm all here for it, and I want it to be a success. But obviously, at this point, I'm just a bit apprehensive from everything I've seen over the last few years with Marvel. But how about it? I'm
Yeah,
here for a
there.
good time.
Eman, you wanted to discuss UMG versus TikTok.
But yeah, it's not looking good
What? So
as a whole.
TikTok's not going to be allowed to have music on it?
Um, from what I heard from the Joe Budden podcast and just small research that I've done, it seems like UMG and TikTok haven't really come to grips of what TikTok can give and what UMG wants. Universal Music Group, for those people who don't really know what we're talking about. And what they have decided to do is pretty much pull their whole entire catalog away from TikTok. So we're talking about uh, a whole entire roster of record labels, and those record labels have a roster of artists. So now the conversation we had on 227, no, not even 227, 228, about how TikTok really does propel an artist today.
Mm.
Now it's another conversation of how are they going to propel their artists. So
it doesn't sound like it'd be a wise move from UMG. I think I hear what they might be saying, but they would have done the maths, to be fair. I'm saying this, and they're probably there in their offices saying our music being on TikTok isn't worth what we're getting from that situation. Yeah, it might blow up a few artists, but it's not money in our pockets. So they might be looking at it that way, and then they've gone to TikTok and said, "Hey, where's the bread?" And TikTok said, "I don't know. We're only playing 30 seconds of the song. There's no bread to give. All right, cool. Take everything off."
that's one of their major reasons. The other reason is they don't want their songs to be associated with hate speech.
Mm.
Yeah, which I thought was quite interesting because
For
there is a
example,
likelihood that that can happen. I don't know examples, bro.
uh,
I mean, but the thing is, that's my issue. Like, I don't know any of the examples. However, I
yeah,
do realize that, bro, you could just use any song from UMG. I mean, there's millions of songs that are being uploaded every single day. So you could
mm.
use one song, and then that song could be associated with hate speech, and then that song could go viral on hate speech.
Yeah, but I
So
wouldn't look into that too much because that could happen to anything. If that's one of their reasons that they're citing, I wouldn't be too pressed because that could literally happen to anyone and any song. Someone could make a song for a particular purpose, and that song goes on to mean something else. I mean, this isn't in the same line of thinking, but God's plan was supposed to be like a hard, a hard body song. I can't explain it, but one of them ones that's supposed to go off in the club. It wasn't supposed to be like this uplifting anthem. Like, so someone could make something for one reason and it could end up having a different one. I would just wouldn't be too pressed about that if I was a label.
yeah,
No,
but
listen,
it's really interesting because it's like corporation versus corporation, and basically
mm,
one corporation has turned around and said, "No, we're not bowing down to you, and you got to do what we got to do," and it's gonna affect it because if Drake drops, he ain't on TikTok.
yeah. I don't know
If
who needs who more.
Nicki Minaj drops, she ain't on TikTok.
TikTok needs UMG more than UMG needs TikTok.
Mm,
I don't think it's even close. But
Yes.
both parties, sorry, definitely lose in this situation. Um,
yeah,
the main reason why it's actually happening is basically they have like a licensing deal that they renegotiate every I think couple of years.
Yeah.
So their deal is up, so they need to renegotiate. So TikTok have agreed with everybody else, like Warner, Sony, whoever. But the UMG one is stalled, so obviously they haven't renegotiated. And I think it's two things. I think one is that obviously TikTok benefits more from it than UMG purely because obviously people can utilize the intellectual property and alter it, AI, all this stuff that's kind of on the borderline of legality. So in that way, artists can,
Yeah,
like you
because he
say,
was pissed
Eman,
about that Drake and the Weekend song. I know
yeah,
that's
that is literally one of the reasons why they want to do it. But if you read UMG's statement, they have tried to make it out that it's the artists that they want them to obviously benefit from it. But ultimately, UMG are hypocrites for that because, as you guys know, the record business isn't about making money for artists. But
yeah.
one thing that people haven't actually realized, and one of the main reasons why, in my opinion, or it's kind of obvious why this is actually happening, is that music as a whole has largely beginning to stagnate as far as the growth. So, obviously after subscriptions happen like Spotify, Apple Music,
Mm.
the music industry blew as far as like money wise. There was a massive slump because of piracy, because of LimeWire, Napster, whatever. Then it started making money again. But that money from subscription is beginning to mature. So year on year, it's harder to find margins. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's been loads of like job cuts. So UMG are cutting loads of jobs. Warner Music are cutting loads of jobs because there's pressure to make more money. So I think
Mm.
UMG, the macro reason why they're doing it is because they want to maximize their revenue because they realize that in the next couple of years, maybe in the next 2 3 years, music will not grow. It will just fully like stagnate. So they're trying to find ways to make more money essentially. Like I know people obviously trying to make it about the music and about artists and about what's fair and the AI and the copyright, but unfortunately it's all about just money. So
Always is.
it's pretty peak. And the reason why UMG are in the spotlight is because they're a publicly listed company now, so everybody can buy their shares. So all of their financial statements are easily accessible. So there's more scrutiny on their numbers essentially.
Well, they're not always
Mm.
publicly listed.
No, they became listed when I left, so
Yeah, they
2022.
did.
Mad.
So the only reason why I'm it's interesting because Sony aren't publicly listed. They're obviously they're a Japanese company, so they don't necessarily have that pressure. But Warner are publicly listed,
Mm.
and so are Sony, and they've both done loads of stuff to cut their costs. And UMG doing this is brave because at the end of the day, like they need TikTok to advertise their music.
The
Like
artists.
it is
Yeah.
easily the biggest way what this new gen is. Was it Gen X? Gen X consumes music.
Gen
So
Alpha.
Gen Alpha, sorry. So ultimately, it is a very, very big power play, but they will come to a conclusion, and I think someone's got to compromise because it doesn't serve either party having this situation. But I think UMG will
Agreed.
probably win because they have the catalog, they have the commodity. So it's interesting, man. It's literally like Thanos snapping his fingers. Because if when you clock how many artists are like
Yeah.
got so
UMG is crazy.
bro, even do you know what's so crazy about it? It's the publishing as well. People don't realize like you can be a Sony music artist, but have your publishing sat with UMG. So anything that you own that has anything like let's say Ariana Grande features on a song with sorry, let's say Sony artist. J Hus has a song with Ariana Grande. J Hus's song is gone. Do you know? Do you see my point?
That's
So
crazy.
it basically affects us both. It affects everybody. So
Damn.
it's like Thanos snapping his fingers. Like it is a big deal.
That's freaking insane. I
Nah.
mean, well, then again, I mean, the upside is Instagram, Triller. I don't know if I don't
Triller,
even know
man.
if Triller is still popping, but
Mm.
I
Thriller.
mean, to be fair, it's still an app. I mean, it's still social media. It still has the same
People
sort of
just go
thing, and
somewhere
plus,
else.
it's and more importantly as well. Triller is the United States. TikTok is China.
Mm.
I know that now. If we do get into that political conversation, the United States
It's
could
something
just turn
worth
around and
having.
say TikTok is done, and that's it. And then now that whole situation with TikTok of it being the number one app in the world,
I
besides
think it'd be really
Google,
hard to blow up another app of that ilk, though. That's the only problem. Like people have
that's
been
only if they
trained.
can. That's only if they can agree on the publication. If Triller
Mm.
turns around and says we can supply UMG with what they want, the next thing they'll just boom. I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's an
That's all it
interesting
takes is
point.
one
Actually, I didn't
chess
think
move,
about
and
it like
that's
that.
it. But it's
All your
it's all
music's
those
going
other
on Triller,
aspects
make
as
it
well.
work. You see
Yeah,
Drake doing
yeah.
dances by Tuesday.
Listen, bro, it's crazy.
I don't want to see Drake online.
That's all.
You know what recently happened. I just don't want to see him
No, I
online.
know.
And on that note,
I hear
hey
it. I
yo,
hear it.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
no,
Um,
it's an interesting battle. I think there has to be a compromise. Ultimately, the artists will suffer at the end of the day. Like the artists who want to blow up, the artists who want their music on that platform will suffer. So it's a shame that it's come to this, but
do you know
it's
what? I
always
think
about music. It's always about money. Sorry.
the only thing I will say is, and it will be probably like a year or so of hardship, but situations like this breed creativity. And I say that because SoundCloud rap initially happened because I think a lot of people didn't know how. All right, it's great that option is there, but a lot of people didn't know how else to get their music onto a platform. So for them, it was like this free platform enables me to get my music out to people. People might find new and creative ways to get their music out if they had no choice. Like you see it now, the people are making music for TikTok. Like with that in mind, this part has to go viral. If people no longer had that constraint, it'd be interesting to see the music that would be created.
Yeah, true. Maybe the quality of music will actually go up because it's been pretty rubbish the past few years, man.
Oh my god,
Like Ice
no
Spice talking
fight.
about being the fart. Like, what is that all about, bro? Like, come on, man. I'm tired of this
You
new
know the
music,
floor
bro.
till I get up.
It's just ass. So yeah, that's a very good point. Hopefully it lights a fire up a couple people's asses because yeah, it's not looking good right now. It's not looking good.
Think you the shit, bitch. You're not even that far.
Oh, brother.
Oh, listen, she looked great saying it. listen with my eyes.
That's crazy. All right, we've got 1 minute and 50 seconds left. Is there anything else you
Oh,
wanna
damn.
discuss before we go?
Music make you lose control. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh,
My
that's your
song
song?
for this. No, no, no.
Okay.
But
Oh,
great
wait,
song.
before you go very quickly, did you guys like that the Kanye album? I just wanted to get your opinion very
Hasn't been
quickly.
released yet.
It is out, bro.
Yeah, it's out.
Huh?
That's
So
funny
you
because
thought,
earlier
yeah,
you
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 thought,
said
bro, that's you, bro.
it's out. Well, maybe we'll discuss it
I
next.
even posted it on chats, on several chats,
Oh
on
my
both
god.
group chats.
I can't tell if he's being real or not. Oh man.
It's out.
That's
It's out.
that's
Yeah,
Alright, say
it's
less.
out, B.
Maybe we'll just
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you want to discuss it next week? There'll probably be another version knowing
Yeah.
him. So
yeah.
Alright,
We'll
so
discuss it next week.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What time?
alright,
Say
say
less.
less.
My choice is Travis and L's Blockbuster. They're a duo from Ireland. This is one of the best songs I've come across in a long time. Got yourself.
Say
That'd be
less.
massive.
I'm actually gonna pick a song off the Kanye album. I'm gonna pick Back to Me. It features
Freddie
Freddie
Gibbs.
Gibbs and Freddie Gibbs's verse.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's one of them ones.
Yeah.
So everybody's not on the album.
My song is Good Don't Die. I
Okay,
really like that song. Yeah. And that's on the album as well.
So
that's
everybody
fine.
didn't make it to the album.
No,
Oh damn.
We'll discuss more upon next week.
yeah,
Say
we'll
less.
discuss them. All right, lads.
Main Chat Podcast. 9.
Peace.
Take care. Peace.